I got to a point in the conversation yesterday, and you can look it up on YouTube. I'm sure you'll be able to find it, or my Twitter feed, where Mr. Seymour, I said to Mr. Seymour, why are you so focused on the racial part of equality? And this wasn't his response to me, by the way. This was a response that he put out a couple of days ago. He goes, quote, "Your racist is, of course, the logical response to someone calling for racial equality." And what I was trying to explain to Mr. Seymour yesterday was, it's not that he's calling for racial equality, it's that he's only calling for racial equality. I mean, in the protected classes we have, and that's the classes you think of people that you can't discriminate against, whether it's age or disability or sexuality or sex or disability, those protected classes, race is one of them, ethnicity is one of them that you can't discriminate based on, right? Now, in all those other categories, we have discrimination all the time. And actually, in the conversation yesterday with Mr. Seymour, I got to say, why aren't you fighting against discrimination based on age? I mean, getting the pension at 65 is discrimination based on age. I can't get it. I'm discriminated against. Māori, who may not make it to 65, can't get it. So there's a discrimination there. And I said, what about, and I know this is a bit of a flippant example, and please don't hear this and have you think that I'm going, well, the disabled shouldn't have car parks. But having a special car park for someone who's disabled is discriminatory against non-disabled people. And his response was, there's good reason for that. And I'm like, well, yes, that's the point. Not that we should be calling for racial equality, is that we should be using discrimination in all protected classes when there's good reason. For example, if there is good reason amongst a race issue, where my finger has to be put on the scale for a reason, let's say because the health outcomes for Māori are so much worse than non-Māori in the health system, then it's actually appropriate to use discrimination based on race in those issues. So the response to Mr. Seymour, who will never see this, as to your racist is, of course, the logical response to calling for racial equality, the answer to your point is no, it's not. It's a response to only calling for racial equality and never calling for equality above all the other protected classes where discrimination happens.